Hey, it's Bob. Welcome back to my channel. So, I just got my Spotify Wrapped, which is basically a summary of your listening for 2018. And you can check it out by visiting SpotifyWrapped.com if you're a Spotify Premium member. So, it's actually really funny because I saw my playlist last year and it was actually pretty accurate. You know, it had Rihanna at the top, which she's pretty much my favorite artist, and then Drake and all that, people that I really listen to a lot, so it made sense. This year it was actually really funny because I really wasn't expecting. Not only, first of all, I listened 34,000 minutes, which is insane, but I guess I'm getting my money's worth because I do pay $9.99 a month for Spotify, which every single subscription I'm very conscious of, and I'm like, do I really need to pay this? Can I use the free option? But then they do stuff like this, and I'm like, okay, now it's actually kind of worth, paying for this because I think it's pretty cool. And, just getting insights, anybody that is actually managing your data to actually put it together and give you some insights based on that data, I think is pretty cool. So, just to review my first song, and it's one of the things that I think is really funny about this is that I don't even know a lot of the artists that are like part of my 2018 wrap up. For example, so my first song is Only You by Cheat Codes and Little Mix, which I love Little Mix, so obviously that's why that's there, but I have no idea who Cheat Codes is. So it's like funny, it's like my first number one song. I have no idea who the artist is aside from the fact that they featured Little Mix or worked with Little Mix, I don't know what. In My Feelings, Drake is number two, which obviously, this one's pretty interesting because Rita Ora, I don't feel like she had that much music before that I can kind of follow. Like, I feel like I heard of her more through fashion in the beginning, but then the song Let Me Love You was one of my top songs, followed by Ariana Grande, No Tears Left to Cry, and Cassie, Love a Loser. So the funny thing about this, first of all, they're all like kind of like sexy young girls, which I think is hilarious. Like, that's like my type. Like, I clearly have a type with all of these little pop girls. Pop dances was my number one genre, which that was something else that was really funny because I would have thought it would have been like, either oldies or R&B, things that I actually gravitate toward, like, in my brain. But that's the really interesting thing, that it's your data. It's what you actually listen to. So it's also kind of like, these are the facts. Like, there's no fake news. Well, maybe there is. I don't know how they're compiling this. I love that Insecure by Amara La Negra is also in my top 10, which is really fun because I love her and she's Miami. Christina Aguilera and Cardi B are also in there. Christina Aguilera, I really liked some of her music this year, so that was pretty obvious. But yeah, I think it's really funny because, kind of like the way you represent yourself is so different from, I think, what is the actual case. Like, if you would have told me that Ariana Grande was my number one artist of 2018, I would have been like, well, like, I like her, but I wouldn't have put her as number one. You know what I mean? And Little Mix was the number one in terms of the song because I've listened to it a bunch of times, but Ariana Grande was my number one artist. And I was like, I think the difference is that I'm not like a fan in the sense of, I don't know what her fans are named, but it's like, I'm not a fan type person. Like, most of the people on my Spotify 2018 playlist, I don't actually know that much about them. Again, Rita Ora, I know that she dresses a lot in Versace, so I've seen her like in Madonna videos, and then I've liked her music, so it's like, yeah, I kind of knew her a little bit more from seeing her in the media and stuff like that. I know Cassie's obviously with Diddy, but it's not like I'm reading like weeklies and actually finding out about their lives, so I don't know if that affects the listening experience. Like, I'm not really a fan of anybody. I love Cardi B. She's my number two artist, I think, of 2018, which that makes sense. Obviously, I love her. Everybody loves her. Well, maybe not everybody loves her, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like she's very popular. That's one of the other things that I've noticed. Like, I don't have very, like, esoteric taste in music. It's pretty much, I like what literally probably every college-age girl likes at this point, which is hilarious being a 35-year-old male, but it's also like, it also makes sense in my head because I always joke around and I say that I like stripper music, which is kind of true if you actually listen to the songs that are in my that are in my playlist, it is very strippery. Like I haven't been to a strip club in a really long time, but I'm imagining that the girls are dancing to, Rihanna, Ariana, Cassie, a lot of these kind of like slow, rhythmic, and then also dance pop. And then dance pop is my number one genre, which I think is crazy because it's like I do like to jog with like Britney Spears and stuff like that. So I totally get that if maybe I've been working out more this year, so dance pop does kind of make sense. But again, I think the really interesting thing about doing this and having this as part of the premium service from Spotify is that it educates you about yourself. Because it's like if I would have done my own Wrapped and made my own 2018 playlist, I would have been so in my head about like who represents 2018 and like who are the top artists and all that stuff. And then like I feel like sometimes you become full of crap. Like it's like the data doesn't lie. What you listen to is what you listen to. And it's like maybe I don't go to like Ariana fan blogs and stuff like that. I love Thank You Next, obviously. I think that's a really fun song. And it's like, again, I've really grown to really, really like her music. I think what I would say about Ariana is that she has the best taste. Aside from Rihanna, who's like my number one, like Ariana of the younger girls, aside from having a great voice, obviously she has a great voice, but aside from that, you can have a great voice and ruin your music because you don't have good taste and you make really bad choices, even within the song with your vocal performance, not to mention who to work with and what type of music to do at what time. But she makes really good decisions, I think, with her artistry. And so I think that the kind of like the proof is in the pudding, where it's like I probably agree with a lot of what she thinks about music, because I really, really like people she's worked with. And, and even down the line, there's like, God is a Woman is on there too. No Tears Left to Cry. Those songs I really, really liked this year. And realistically, I can't really think of other artists in the pop genre, which is apparently my favorite genre, which is also crazy because the alternative kid from high school that I was would cringe knowing that not all I listen to, but mainly what I listen to is pop and dance pop and like, girl groups and all that stuff. But it actually really does make me happy. I definitely like female artists more than male artists, not like, not to like, I don't know, like make it about gender. But I do, when I listen to music, I like to hear beautiful voices. I like to hear beautiful sounds. And so I guess maybe that's why I gravitate toward women with like really great voices and all that. And again, really great taste in the music that they put out and stuff like that. Like they have to be very good curators in addition to also being very talented musically. And the other thing that's pretty cool about the Spotify thing that I realized at the end is that they give you, I'm trying to find the name. They give you taste breakers, which at the end of your Wrapped, it's kind of like a visualization, the SpotifyWrapped.com. And after they give you all of your insights, they give you a playlist for 2019. And then that is kind of like, I guess, what you're supposed to be listening to based on the data from 2018. So I think that's pretty cool. I kind of looked over the songs. I don't really know a lot of them. Well, I'm lying. Obviously, the first one's Nile Rodgers with Lady Gaga. Obviously, I know Lady Gaga. And that's the other thing. The interesting thing is, too, that I think that these pop artists, they stagger. I feel like if like Rihanna's out, then Ariana's not that, not doing too much. If one's doing this, the other one's doing that. Like, and I think that the these artists kind of do that on purpose, because it's like if 2017 was the year of Rihanna, then this is the year of Ariana, and then it's like next year, I bet you, Rihanna will probably release music next year, and she didn't do it this year for that reason. Not to say she's like scared, or I don't know if they get along in real life or if they're friends, God knows. But I just mean like, I feel like people who like Rihanna maybe in terms of pop probably like Ariana. So it's like that's something that I find interesting, because it's like artists that I really love are not really on there at all, but also because they haven't released stuff. So it's like, I think that also gives you an insight into probably how artists actually release their music. But anyway, yeah, so I thought that was really cool. I just did a quick reaction to this in my bed, so please excuse my appearance, but I just really wanted to do this morning. I've been really busy this week. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have done your Spotify Wrapped.com assessment and put it in the comments below. Let me know if there was any surprises or anything that you found interesting in your list of songs. I know I'm sure there's probably a lot of surprises and a lot of stuff that you were probably expecting, but maybe weren't 100% clear on how much you maybe are obsessed with an artist. Like apparently I'm obsessed with Ariana Grande. But anyway, yeah, so if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll talk to you soon.